Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tarkov. I'm the EarLegAthlete here with,
Hey Dizzle.
and today we've got with us the instructor and recruiter for the European and German side of the Sherpa Hub program. We'll let him introduce himself and then get right into the episode. eXoT, feel free to let everyone know who you are, where to find you, and kind of what you do for the Sherpa Hub program.
Hello, I'm eXoT. I'm 31 years old. I'm the instructor and recruiter for the sherpa program for a year now so far. You can find me either on the Sherpa Hub Discord, not on Twitter or anything else. Sometimes you can catch me live on Twitch on eXoT_TV. And yeah, that's about it. I do mostly just the recruiting parts for the Sherpa program. And other than that, I'm just here in the Sherpa program for some instructions on how Sherpas can improve in their sessions quality, and that's it.
Yeah, so you did my grading session, right?
Exactly.
Um, with that, how do you go about? Okay, actually, I know for a fact I can't ask that question. Let me rephrase the entire start of that. How did you get involved with the Sherpa program? Let's start with where you started at there. Like you said, you've been in the instruction side for a year. You've been in the Sherpa Hub program for a year.
I've been in the instructor side for a year. I've been a Sherpa for 2.5 years now.
Oh wow, okay.
So I started as my Sherpa journey more or less started more like everyone else's does. I thought that I'm quite knowledgeable about the game. I achieved everything that I could achieve in the game. I did Kappa twice in one wipe. I played all the time, like every day, and needed a new goal to set for myself. And thought, yeah, I'm quite knowledgeable about the game. I like helping new people. I did this all over for friends of mine and just applied for the Sherpa program.
And for anyone
It's
wondering about applying for the Sherpa program, you can go to the website or you can go straight to the Discord and put an application through it, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a application form that you can just need to fill out. You can find it either on the website. I'm not quite sure about that, to be honest, but you can find it on the Sherpa Discord for sure. You just need to fill it out, and then we will reach out to you if we find you're a suitable candidate.
And what typically is considered as a suitable candidate?
At least level 42. Uh, like a few thousand hours, so we know that you're for sure knowledgeable about the game, and then that's about it. Actually, there is nothing more. Oh yeah, and the age of 18 is a
Yeah,
must.
you have to be 18 plus. Yeah. What about like for your regions and things like that? Does it matter, or do we have Sherpa, all over the world, or how does that work?
We have Sherpas all over the world, most likely. You have to be quite fluent in English. Like, you don't have to be super fluent, but you have to be properly able to speak the language and understand it, because the Sherpa program is an international program. So you need to be at least able to talk and understand English properly well, so we can understand you and you can understand us. But other than that, you're free to do it from whatever region you're coming from. So if you're thinking about applying or have thought about applying to the Sherpa program, just go for it. There's no region specifics or anything else.
Do you know about how many Sherpas you guys take? We take on. I am a Sherpa now too. About how many Sherpas we take on per year? Is there like a limit to it, or is there
There's no limit.
unrestricted? Are
There's no
we?
limit.
And we're pretty well constantly always looking for people, right?
We're always looking for people. Our ticket load is always in a high, especially in NA. And we're always looking for new Sherpas that will stay and not just quit like after a month, because it is a time investment. You have to be aware of that. It's a not even a small time investment. It's a big time investment,
Huge
and
time sink.
you should be aware about this before you apply. And we always need and recruit Sherpas.
Adam, do you have any questions about like the Sherpa program, or how people can go about getting into it, or like requirements or anything like that?
Just what are some of the things that you really need to know if you are thinking about becoming a Sherpa?
You should be quite. You should know at least all maps and how to traverse them, for sure. You should know every basic, 100% certain. So there should be no, I think that this will be like this. Like it's a must that you know this. And you also you don't need to be an extremely good player. That's like a false statement. You don't have to be an extremely skilled player or whatever. You just have to be knowledgeable and be able to spread your knowledge in a favorable way for the person that you're helping, so he learns something about it. That's more or less everything you have to do and have to bring with you. Other than that, there's like literally nothing else you need to have.
What exactly do you do in like with your instructing role? You know, like how do you help Sherpas be Sherpas essentially, right? Like if
Well,
you know,
that's
if I'm a Sherpa already, why would I need instruction?
well, if you feel like you're not really having the quality that you're trying to achieve for yourself, because everyone else has, or everyone has a own quality standard, in my opinion. And if you're thinking like you don't really match the quality that you want to achieve with your sessions, I'm the person that can sit into your session, listen and watch it, and can give you some feedback on what to improve on and what to do better, what you're maybe missing, what you're maybe lacking. It's always something special for everyone. And I can give you the hints on how to achieve that. And also, I'm more or less the person that's instructing you on how to behave properly in the Sherpa program, because we have a code of conduct, of course.
For sure.
And if you're overstepping this code of conduct, I'm the person that's telling you to stop with those actions.
So you're kind of the disciplinary guy too. You keep
Yeah.
everybody in line to a degree. You know, within the raid side of the Sherpa program, because it is a multifaceted journey with a Sherpa. You know, you get this idea in your head for the Sherpa program that it is some sort of carry service or something like that, right? And that is the exact opposite of what we actually do. And you know, we state that as well. But you know, a lot of players come into it thinking like, "Oh, I got a Sherpa. They're gonna carry me around the map and teach me how to do this and show me open these doors and do all these things for me." When in reality, we try to just more so just give them the knowledge and the know-how of how to continue playing the game on their own and try to pick up the pieces from everything they've been doing and start correcting some of those bad behaviors. Do you
Exactly.
find that it's often that some Sherpas or some helpfuls or anything like that tend to kind of fall into that line, or is it something that we do a pretty good job of just making sure never happens? Like, do you ever have any issues where you're correcting people who are doing carries and things where instead of just, going through the program like we're supposed to?
It's quite hard to really state that some people do it and some people don't do it. It's more or less, you always have a habit. If you play with a friend, imagine you're playing with a friend and he's completely new to Tarkov. The first thing you do is you lead the way over and over again. If you die, you tell him where to go, or everything like this. You don't really take him to the point where he has to think about his movement himself, where he has to do his stuff on himself, and you're just
Right.
there in the back and correcting him on mistakes that he does, instead of just freaking leading the way and carrying him through the raid in your backpack, and he's just gobbling up every loot that he finds. um, that's a whole different level on teaching that we do. We try to point the person that we're helping into a direction where they learn by doing it on their own. Of course, we give them hints. Of course, we are helping them navigating and all the stuff, but we do it
Sure.
in a way that they learn it to do it themselves in raid. We're not just
Right.
running
Because
around with them, leading the way and killing everything in front of it. Now we're holding back. We're just giving advices. We're just looking at it more or less. And if he's really lost, then we step in and help. But other than that, we're just holding ourselves back on purpose and wait and see how he will behave in situation, and give him hints afterwards, suited
yeah,
for his needs.
exactly. Right, because every situation that happens in a raid is completely teachable. There's always something going on that you can, something can be learned from it. So it's makes sense to, for us as the Sherpa to hold back and keep things leading.
Exactly.
them
And what
in
I've
charge of the
encountered,
raid. That way,
sorry that I interrupted, but what I've encountered so far, the most thing that new Sherpas sleep on is giving information over that you already can read from the game. Like the game is
right?
constantly giving you informations like shots or anything else. Giving those informations over to the new players so he can understand what the game's trying to tell him. That's something every new Sherpa is sleeping on. Everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can confirm that. Again, like we kind of had a conversation when you went over my final and everything, and we were talking about that, and it's something like you said, everybody is doing, or every new Sherpa does, because we don't realize the information that we're already processing a lot of the time. I think is what a chunk of it is, at least. Those things happen, and our brains automatically tell us. And then a big part of the Sherpa program is that you're capable of taking that information and putting it into words so that they can utilize it and start to make progress from it and learn something from it as well. Yeah, the Sherpa program is really cool. It's really interesting. If you guys are interested in it, I tried to think of questions that people might consider asking if they were looking into the program. Um, some of the questions that I had when I first started. But yeah, let's talk more about the more exciting side of life right now, which is 1.0 Tarkov. How has your wipe been going for you?
Wow, it was rough at the start. Literally freaking rough. I mean, I have to admit I'm quite washed at the game at the moment. I don't really had that much time in the last half a year to do as much as I wanted to, and also like in the hardcore wipe, 90% of my teammate bases died, so I had literally no one to play with. So that was a bummer for me too, and I enjoy Tarkov way more when I play in a duo or trio instead of playing
fair.
it all alone on my own. So I haven't really played that hardcore wipe that much. I went up to 33 and then I quit. But other than that, the start was quite rough due to the fact that I was so washed up and didn't were able to win fights on my own due to the fact of being that washed. I tried to get back into it quite fast, and now I can more or less say I'm back in it, but there's still a lot of room of improvement on my own again. Like I'm playing way too carelessly, playing way too recklessly, all these things that I usually teach not to do, I still do because I don't really care.
Creatures of habit, right?
Yeah, and it's like I just need to work on myself again a bit.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah, I totally get that. I had to do the same thing because I took last swipe off and I was definitely rusty coming in at the start. I did play some arena just to try to, get a little bit of the gunfighting, feeling back into everything. But even that, it just doesn't work unless you're actually playing Tarkov. You really don't get, back to where you need to be.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing that I always say. Like Tarkov Arena is a nice addition in my opinion, but it does not make a freaking Tarkov god out of you. Even if you like have 1,000 hours into Arena, you more or less will struggle with Tarkov due to the fact that you have to play on timings. You have to play on
Right.
on the informations around you. You have to play on everything that's happening in the raid. You have to act to everything that happens accordingly. Otherwise, you will die horribly.
It's true. It's very true. I feel the opposite of that statement, though. Not the statement you just made, but your statement about how the wipe's going for you with you struggling through it. I am like, outside of just not really pushing too hard and trying to make sure I don't miss anything, because I didn't realize the depth of hidden progression. I didn't realize that as soon as I started getting story missions and we started failing story missions, or at least one or the other person would fail it and be like, "Oh shit, maybe don't do that yet." There was a lot of trial and error, but overall, like gunfights, I'd not lost ones. Okay, well, I've been pretty careless, but mostly just in the stat department. I don't care what my stats are, which has kind of changed the way I play a bit. I'm pushing PvP more. Obviously, if I have like task items and things, I'm just like, let's get out and reset. But like, if it's early in the raid, I'm pushing for fights. But I'm having really good luck with my fights. I'm making smart decisions and smart choices, and I'm just seeing the time played pay off more and more um, with Tarkov, and it's cool because it's Tarkov is one of those games that you can actually witness your your playtime and your willingness to learn the game pay off. Like you can
Also had great
And then,
rates.
like, the
That's
visibly
why
watch
bosses.
it. Yeah,
it's like I also had great rates this wipe. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, somewhere around that, I literally killed Glorious E in on Woods while I was doing
that's
test
awesome.
drive. So I also
He
had
killed
good
me on
rates.
Woods. That's crazy. Glorious
I
E killed
also
me on Woods.
I
That's
literally
crazy.
also had great rates, but it's like at the beginning, like the first day when I started, it was rough. It was literally rough due to the fact that on how rusty I was. I was completely flabbergasted on how I was losing fights that I usually would win. Rewatched those deaths and literally saw that I made like 5 mistakes in one fight and thought like, okay, you need to work on this again.
That's fair. Yeah,
And since I've started working on it again, picking my fights better, like thinking more about how to push situations, how to get out of situations that I might be in, it's going well. Like it's going really well. It's not going super well, like, but well enough that I can progress without any real problems. And even though that I'm working, I got to 23 so far. Really take like holding myself back more or less. I'm not pushing side quests. I'm also doing the main story from time to time here and there. I'm not really pushing anything that hard. Like I used to freaking bum rush freaking setup as soon as I got it.
fair.
And also I went to locations as a PMC to get quest items as soon as possible. I was able to get those back in the days. Nowadays I don't do that anymore because I think about like I can take my time. We don't have a wipe coming like next week or next 2 weeks or something like that. We have a bunch of time. The next seasonal character is announced by Nikita, but that's about it. So we don't know
Right.
when. It can be
And
a
like he
year, it
said,
can be
it's
half a year.
after the whole plan for the winter event and potentially even after the Tarkov TV in December or January. So I mean, it seems like yeah, it could be a ways away. As excited as I am for seasonal, it did seeing that post because I'd been kind of worried about it. I was like, well, maybe only 6 months from now, but who knows really? It shows that it could be a ways away. Um, because I would like to get to prestige. I would like to do a few things on my permanent PMC before I start seasonal characters, like, and that's kind of the nature of Tarkov players too. Is like we like to set goals for ourselves. We like to, put things in front of us that we can achieve, whether it's on a timeline based off of wipe or the next event, or I can only play for this next 2 weeks. I want to do this. We like doing those kind of things. So I want to prestige before the seasonal characters get here. That way, when seasonal starts, I can start focusing on that more and more and more, and then just work on my main PMC on the side as I can. But the
Does
fact that we
every ending
also
give you prestige?
You need to reach one ending so far, what I've heard, to do prestige. So it doesn't matter
Okay,
which
okay,
ending, you just need to
okay,
reach one ending.
all the other
okay.
requirements for prestige are still the same, I assume.
Yeah, all the other requirements are the same. You still need level 55, you still need collector, you still need the extra quest, you still need your
The beginning,
hideout to
yeah,
some extent, and
yeah,
you still
okay.
need those 20 millions.
How do you guys feel about some of the paywalls that were introduced for the story tasks? Mechanic wanting $20,000 to unlock, Lighthouse and 20,000 USD for,
Yeah.
Lighthouse and Peacekeeper. Um, Trapper at one point in the near future, if you don't give him the case, or if you do give him the case, I'm not sure which way it goes yet,
If
but
you do it, if you do
he
it,
yeah, he wants like 500 mil. It's like, how do you guys feel about those paywalls?
I don't care. Money
Yeah,
is
I'm
no
good with it.
problem in this game. Money is no
I
problem in this game.
I
You're absolutely right
expect it,
about
you know what
that.
I mean? Like the one thing that you can use the traders for are, things like that. It's like they're definitely going to help you, but you're going to have to pay them, and that's to be expected, with a storyline.
I mean, I have friends that thought like or said to me that they don't know how to get the 20,000 for Peacekeeper for a mechanic, and also like the 5,000 for Peacekeeper. which I just said, or then I just said to them, yeah, you just pay them or you just sell everything that you have and don't need to Peacekeeper and you get money for it.
Right.
You anyways need like a bunch of money on him to level him up. Like you need $55,000 to get him
Right.
to loyalty level 4. So why would you not sell stuff to him?
Exactly. With everything with Peacekeeper and being able to buy the USD, I'm already at like 50K USD, I'm pretty sure, spent with Peacekeeper. So now it's just level requirements. So when I hit level 23, which I think I'm level 22. Yeah, I'm level 22. I'm almost level 23. So when I hit 23, I'll have Peacekeeper 3. No problem. There's no question about it. And leveling traders is far more important than I think people give credit for, especially with the current flea market changes, which is kind of my next topic. What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about the flea market changes? One, it unlocks at level 15 or 20 or whatever, sure, but it's very limited. You can almost buy nothing at level when you first unlock it. And then certain requirements being 20, others being 25, some even 30 and 40. So, do you guys think that's an issue, or do you guys welcome it? Because personally, I think it's pretty dope.
They did nerf it a bit. They opened it up a lot now. Like you can purchase a lot more things now.
I
don't know
actually
exactly what was
loved it.
changed, but yeah.
I actually loved it. Counting the fact in that they put quest keys, important quest keys on traders is something that was needed. And since they did that and did the flea market change or did the stuff with the flea market, I'm more than fine with it. And I'm even more fine with it if they even remove the flea market. I mean,
That's exactly how I feel too.
That's a hot take, but I don't need the flea market.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Well, I think on that one. We've always been for that.
Yeah, Adam and I both have the same sentiment on it. Is anything that you need to run raids or to go in raid, you should have to get in raid. Everything should evolve around you being in raid, collecting the things you need. Hideout doesn't have to be found in raid, so if you die with something in your ass or your container, sure, that's fine. But you shouldn't just be able to go to the flea market, drop tens of millions of rubles on it because you can, and max out your hideout and do this, that, and the other. It's just like, it seems like a shortcut, and I don't know, Tarkov is like the game of anti-shortcuts.
I mean, I'm fine with like hideout items not being found or not having to be found in vote raid. I'm literally fine with that. I don't care about it that much. I mean, like having the flea makes it way too easy.
It does. It makes things entirely too easy.
Then you just bunch up some rubles and you just buy your way to your max hideout.
Yeah, or even, you fuel your raids with gear that you can't have or shouldn't have at the level you're at unless you found it in raid. Like, that's how it should be. And just being able to abuse the flea market is crazy. But even with the restrictions lifted somewhat, I'm sure it's still pretty limited, I would imagine. I hope so anyways. Like, I don't have my docs case yet because I can't find that fourth horse. You know what I mean? I need one more horse. And because I can't find it and I can't buy it on the flea market till like level 30, I'm just like, okay, well, that sucks.
I think they switched
I don't like
valuables to level 20. Most tools are level 15 now, so you can do most of your hideout at 15.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't went through all of it, but I seen where they announced that it changed, and I went through and looked at a few things, and it's definitely easier now. Yeah, I'm all good with them making it hard. Like, I would rather them keep it the way they had it or just get rid of it altogether. But it seems like this wipe, they're probably not too concerned with, oversaturating the raids, the market, because all the drops, we got 3 weeks worth of drops. It seems like it's going to be a lot of things to play with at this wipe. I think they're just kind of letting people go crazy right now. Like, they removed the meds in the container. Now you can throw those in there. It seems like a lot of things are getting reversed, and I don't specifically like that, but
yeah,
I don't care about meds and containers. The one thing that I'm literally missing is I want to put my ammo back into my container.
See, I think Adam feels the same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
We think that the meds and the ammo need to stay out of the container. One, PMCs don't run their best shit. A lot of people still have gear fear. When you go kill somebody, you're lucky if you get a good gun, good armor, good helmet, you know what I mean? Like, and decent ammo. But like, early on, killing somebody, you're guaranteed at least without putting ammo in your container, you're guaranteed. If you get that PMC kill, you restock a little bit. You get ammo, you get a gun. And while they may not have the best gear, knowing that they have most likely meds and ammo on them makes those fights feel way more beneficial. Compared to like, I got 30 rounds out of his mag that he was carrying, but he had 120 in his ass, so it didn't really make a difference.
Yeah,
The
that was the
thing
thing
why
I liked.
And the weight of
thing-
having those things on you.
the thing
Like,
why
not actual
I
weight, but like the feeling.
yeah, the thing why I don't like it, especially, is due to the fact that, for example, we take 7.62 by 39 PP ammo. You
Yeah, you
can
gotta be
buy 108 rounds of PP ammo every like 2-3 hours on Prepper loyalty level 4.
Yeah.
Imagine you're running a MK74, or you want to run an a 47, sorry, MK47, and
Yeah.
you want to run it right now. Then you have to restock ages before to run one raid of PP ammo. Due to the fact that,
Yeah, but I mean,
you know
like,
how raids go, you can spawn, you can run into another spawn and just, get headshotted lucky and die, and then you lose the amount of ammo. Like, at least for assault rifle, you need to have at least like 2 to 3 mags with you, one in the weapon, and 2 mags at least in your rig, and those loaded up is like 90 bullets already. So that's literally one round, or one reset. So you need to wait 6 hours to run 1 times the freaking MK47, and you can drop it back into your stash, which is something I don't really think is good, especially for people that work and don't really have the time to always rebuy their ammunition. I would be
ammo's on
fine if you
reset,
were
right?
able. If I would be fine if you were able to put like buy orders on certain items. For example, if you're offline and you have a buy order on those 108 PP rounds, you instantly buy them as soon as reset happens. Then I would be fine with that. But other than that, it's like not really good for people that actually have a full-time job, worked from 9 to 5, and game like 3 to 4 hours at the evenings.
No, I
I
get it.
mean,
I
yeah,
understand
but
both sides. I like it
I also
because
find ammos in raid though. You know what I mean? Like, I
yeah,
find a
I
lot of
barely ever
ammo in
buy
raid.
ammo, but at the same time, it's like I get both sides of it. It definitely stretches
Sure.
out the early game because people are using less good ammo, but that also helps a lot because people have less good armor. So it's like it balances out everything, kinda, but it can be frustrating. I understand both sides.
It's not being about frustrating. It's just like I don't want to wait like 6 hours to run a weapon once and then drop it back into my backpack or stash. Yeah, I know there's loot ammo spawns all over the place, and still you have to be lucky to find the exact ammo type on those ammo spawns. And then there's still like the chance that you die everywhere or all the time. So I'm not demanding it, or I say they should change it, otherwise I will stop playing. It's just something that I would wish for myself to get back.
Right.
That's fair. That's fair. I just like the game to feel and be very hardcore. And that is one thing that you can do with Tarkov, right? You can implement your own hardcore rule set. I could go to where I don't even have a secure container, and I have to run. If I go with a docs case, I've got that thing in my backpack. If I die, that's unfortunate. And you can implement those rules on yourself, sure. But I feel like some things just help the flow and the feel of raids a lot, and that's one of those things. Like, knowing that they have meds and ammo on them drives me to sometimes want to push fights more. You know, and I can see, especially people who don't have the best luck in fights, especially people who work and maybe don't have 1,000 rounds of 545 BP in day 5. Like, that's not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody's going to have that. Not everybody can go run raids endlessly until they find 1,000 rounds of 545 BP. So I do understand that entirely. And even at max traders, like you were saying, you still can only buy so much ammo on reset. It would be convenient be able to put it in your ass. And if you could, I absolutely would be putting it in my container. Like, there's no question about it. I would do it, but I do like that you can't do it.
Just to the opposite, as he said, I wouldn't quit playing if we could all of a sudden put it in our
Right.
ass. You know what I mean? I'm cool with
Right.
both ways. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still cool with it. It's just something that I don't like
Well,
it. I don't like it that
also,
much, but it's fine.
I really like the way it makes me play the game too, knowing that I'm losing meds and ammo more so than just my mags. Like I've got a 60 stack or more on my persons plus my 90 extra rounds, so there's 180, 160, 70 rounds, whatever it is, just floating around there that somebody could easily pick up and run off with 150 rounds. And it makes me just play more cautiously. It makes me play more like reserved to a point. Like I'll be aggressive with the fights when I have to take them, but I would avoid fights if I can in certain areas, in certain situations. And I don't know, it just makes me think more. And I like when the game makes me think more. I like when things are kind of like weighing against me and it's like, well, you might lose all this stuff. So if you do push this fight, what's the weight? What's it worth? Are you losing something that you don't want to lose versus like, are you gaining something that you really need? And
Well,
I just like that side of that kind of thing for me. And
they buffed the amount of ammo that you can find in raid because I'm finding like all kinds of great ammo, like no matter where I go,
constantly,
and
it is
it's
all
way
over.
better than it was. Yeah,
But on average, like no, I can see both sides, but I do like the extra. I don't know the word. The extra grittiness added, the extra like anxiousness, the extra anxiety that they've kind of stressfulness of it all.
I was fans of the hardcore changes, at least to the secure container, but it looks like we're going to revert them. I imagine that they're probably going to open it up for ammo too. I just see that coming.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be too surprised. What about the story tasking stuff altogether? The difficulty of it, the depth of it, the length of it. How do you guys feel about the implementation of the story tasks?
Well, I like it. I like the fact that they kept the good thing they started on in the hardcore wipe with only being able to connect onto Ground Zero. I literally loved it, and that you have to do some stuff to progress into unlocking the other maps. I thought
really
that
cool.
would be the best way to do it also in the hardcore wipe. For example, doing shooting cans and you unlock customs or whatever. That would be like was my idea of unlocking maps instead of transiting over and over again.
Yeah,
right.
But other than that, I'm not that far into the quest. I mean, right now I have to do labs, which I'm not
Where
really
we're at.
feeling at the moment. I
We'll
don't
have to
really
get
want
together and
to.
run labs.
I don't really want to do it right now. Like I said, I have one quest line completely finished, which is Falling Skies.
So is that, since you have finished that, now that is not, just because the task line's finished, that is not your route out of Tarkov, or is that your in-game quest progression?
It's my in-game quest progression. The chapter says finished. I can't progress in there anymore. I can't do this quest further.
But that's not how you escape Tarkov?
No,
you have to
it's
do
not,
other
it's not.
things now?
I have to do other things now. And
I don't think Adam or I have finished any of the story stuff yet. Like we haven't finished any.
It will tell you if you finish it with a check mark.
Is that where you turned in the tool sets and the circuit boards?
Exactly.
Prepper.
Yeah.
Last thing it said to me was, "I'm waiting for more information from Prepper," and I still haven't gotten it.
It takes some time. For me, it took like 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, I just turned it in like yesterday, so yeah, I'm still waiting.
Oh, I am almost done then with Falling Skies.
Yeah.
And Falling Skies is the first quest that puts you into you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
And whatever decision you make is how you will progress further in the storyline. So that's all up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm only missing one other task line. It's the one on streets. I got to go pick it up. I've gotten Tor. I've gotten Falling Skies. I've got Batia. I've got Blue Fire. I've got They Are Already Here. And I've got Accidental Witness. But I didn't want to progress any because I was told that if you progress one too far, you may not be able to pick up others. So I wanted to go through and grab all of them first and then start working on them. But there's still so many, like I was saying earlier, there's still a lot of unknown stuff that we just don't know, like exactly how things are going to work. And maybe we do now. Like I said, I wasn't on yesterday at all. Like I'm not on my computer hardly at all. So I don't know if there was new information developed over
I'm
time.
trying
Do we
I'm
have
trying
like
to avoid
a
spoilers, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to stay off the internet as far as the story goes because I don't want people to be, ruining it for me. So,
right?
I just know that, there's been a few things that people have discovered over time, and I'm sure it's gonna continue to be like that, where more new things are gonna, be discovered, and there's probably gonna be quite a few ways to finish each task. We're probably not, like, ever gonna, confirm, like, the only way to do this or the only way to do that until, a wipe or
Way
so
later,
away from
yeah.
now. Yeah, yeah, so I'm cool with kinda just taking my time with it. I'm just doing, like, side quests and trying to just level up and, get my traders up and focus on that for now, and then, ease my way back into the story stuff as it goes.
Yeah, same here. I don't want to progress into so way too far into the story. I think will be way more easier if I have the traders on a certain level,
Right.
so I
If
can
you can
buy the stuff that
refuel,
sorry?
no, well, that's what I was gonna say. Just being able to refuel your kits, right? Being able to
Yeah,
constantly just
exactly.
buy things from traders and not have to worry about
Like
it. Getting good stuff from traders too.
playing the stuff that I want to play actually, and not forcing
Exactly.
myself into a disadvantage by playing, for example, an AKM with a horrible scope and horrible
Right.
mods, and the freaking gun is kicking like a freaking, I don't know, deer or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they get out of hand. Those AKMs are rough
Well, and some of the story quests actually requires you to be, like level 3, like
with
intel,
certain
things like
traders and
that.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, in your hideout. So it's like you might as well work on that stuff and then go at the storyline once you have everything kind of where you want it.
Yeah, which is fine. Like so far, I really enjoy this. I really like the idea that they had about like how to implement the traders, how to talk to the
Yeah,
traders, how the storyline progresses. Even the ideas of what you gotta do next onto the storylines is something that I really like to do. Um, I really like to see. It's refreshing for someone like me that's played since 2019. I don't have to do
yeah,
the same quest all over and over and over and over again, and it's nothing new for me except for a few new weapons, a new map, or some map extensions or anything like that. I got a
right,
freaking whole new quest line to completely develop for myself because I do it the same way like you do. I completely avoid spoilers whatsoever,
right.
Yeah.
and it's refreshing. It's a lot of fun again for me.
Yeah,
I
it's the
didn't even
biggest
know that
change
there
we've
were
had to Tarkov and since
yeah.
it's ever been introduced. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the extra story mission task lines until Adam came in and was like, "Oh, hey, there's like these places across the maps, and you just kind of pick up extra task lines." I'm like, "What?" From
Yeah,
there, I've
I
gone
didn't
through
know that
like
either.
finding them and shit. But like, yeah, it
My
was
first
awesome. I was
one
like, "Hell yeah!"
My first one was super weird that I even found it. Like I was just going onto Fort next to the freaking grenade launcher, and then the new quest popped up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like
Yeah,
literally. And the second quest that I got was just I went to 114, turned around,
Right.
and saw this
Yep.
weird message in front of 110, and thought like, "What is this? Oh, I can pick it up. Oh, new quest line. Okay."
Yep. Yeah, I went into Dorm's marked room and was just going in there just to see what was in there for loot. And what do you know? I got a quest.
Oh, so you got a mark room key already?
Yeah, yeah, I got it on like the first day.
Lucky
you
you.
did.
I
Yeah,
got the marked room and I got the rusted bloody key, both of them.
the Ruddy Blessed key,
Uh,
dude.
both of them on my scav.
That's insane
Like
luck though.
Lucky,
spawned in
lucky.
with both of them.
It's all right though. He's gonna crack the door task for me.
Hey, I got 9 uses left on the uh
Art room.
Dorm's marked room, so yeah, so we can still run it.
Hell yeah. More so the door. That one's like
It it
insane.
was trash. It was trash when I opened it. Like, it was 3
Wait,
guns,
what?
uh, Yeah, it was pretty much trash.
Why did you open it before we had the task? Oh, the marked room, not okay.
No, not the
Rusted
bloody
key,
key,
dude.
not the bloody key.
I was like,
Yeah,
whoa, no.
no, I definitely wouldn't waste that. But
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
I did
panicked
find out.
if you plan on opening Rusted Bloody Key, you know, hit me up. I need that quest too.
Well,
Yeah.
I did find out that the Rusted Bloody Key is now a spawnable item in other maps because people are finding it in filing
What?
cabinets, jackets. Yeah, it's not just
That's
on
awesome.
streets now. Yeah, you can get it
Well,
other places
to be
now.
fair, it is a side mission now. It's not like a priority, so.
Right.
I mean, it was a side mission before too. It was not Kappa relevant. You just did it for shits and giggles. You didn't have to do
Right.
it.
No, but
But
you
now
could get a bunch
I
of
know
cap
people are
items out of
finding it.
there and really good keys. It was like a good fueler for the Kappa task. Yeah, so the story stuff is insane though. It really is. The fact that like I was on Woods at the med center and somebody said it was in like one of the crates, and I was like, okay, well, there's a billion crates at the medical camp on Woods. So I'm like walking around, I'm checking like the wooden crates, and it's in the Connexes, the big metal one. So I go in there, and there's just this yellow and or orange and blue stickers like stuck on the side of one of the white panels, and I just walk by it and get a ping, and I'm like, oh hey, what's this? And I pick it up, and I've started another task line. I'm like, oh, that's cool. A couple of them were spoiled for me, and I knew exactly where to look, but like finding them, authentically finding them, just like out in the wild,
Yeah,
not really
stumbling
knowing what you're
upon
looking
them is
for.
cool.
Yeah, like dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome. It's a really cool feeling. I think that's really awesome what they've done. And so far the task lines seem to be, you know, pretty well thought out and like enjoyable. Like they're really fun so far. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Well, Nikita has said new ones are coming too, so it's like they're going to expand this also. It's not the only thing we're getting. So like
Right?
they're going to add more story to it.
What do you guys think is next in the lore of Tarkov? Like once we finish this story, right? Where do you think over the next 5 years, like you said, we've got not only DLCs but expansions planned and, you know, new story elements added and things like that. So like what do you guys think is the next relevant topic that is going to get pushed for narrative reasons?
That's rough to say, though. That's really rough to say because for someone like me, I've never really went into the lore of Tarkov, not at all. Like literally, I've never read any quest text or whatsoever.
Have you
Before
seen the Raid movie?
No.
Oh man, you gotta watch the Raid movie. It's good.
We won't spoil it then. Let's
yeah, we'll stay quiet on
I mean,
things,
I was flabbergasted that the USEX are the bad guys. I mean, I should have known, you know.
Yeah.
I've heard a few
yeah, they
but it's like
that's why I play Bear.
I always play USEC. But
well,
it's
we
dirty
dove deep
evil
into
person.
The lore. Like
we
dove
did
really deep into the lore, and
I can get you a copy of the books if you do want to read them.
It's cool. But I understand not wanting to spoil it.
I wouldn't say no to that offer of the books though.
Yeah, when we were doing our lore stuff, one of the guys in my Discord had already had all like digital copies of the books, and he put them in my Discord. We've got them pinned in there. But yeah, no, sorry to interrupt, Adam.
No, that's all I was saying. Yeah, just you know, it's something I'm kind of glad that you know I know, but at the same time, I'm cool with the new stuff, just letting it happen. I'm not going to go searching out to see what the new stuff is. You know, as they add more things, I just want to experience it organically. And
I mean,
you know,
I'm just fine. You know, I'm just fine. The main thing that I'm more or less, I mean, I'm most likely this won't happen, but the main thing that I feel worried about if I read the books, will I find stuff that's not canon? And if I find if
we don't know yet.
If I will find stuff that's not canon, like literally, that's the same thing for me with The Witcher. Like I'm a huge Witcher nerd. I read all the books. I've played all the games, and when the Netflix series came out, I was pissed, literally pissed.
Yeah, a lot of people were.
So
I would not say there's a lot of non-canon stuff. I think it's all canon. I think it's just what we know in the game versus what we're allowed to know outside of the game.
I just say they've kept everything pretty
close.
lined up. Yeah, everything lines up pretty well.
Okay.
I haven't I haven't run into anything that had me making a lot of questions other than things that would spoil things, so I'm not going to go into. And
Yeah.
then when we had our interview with Trent and Afraid, I'd ask a question, and that question could not be answered in any way, shape, or form, and was told to just kind of drop it there. So we were on to something with the direction in which things were
Yeah.
heading, and I think that's about as far as we need to take it. But yeah, like
They got it
we
spoiled to them.
know,
Remember, somebody
yeah,
just spoiled it
oh yeah,
by accident. Yeah, at
right,
Gamescom, I think, or somewhere. Um,
somewhere, yeah,
yeah, but I know when we were everything I've ever read or everything I've looked into, I've never found myself thinking, "Man, that does not add up," or that does not seem like it should be there. Like everything
right,
seems to go where it should.
fit the mold, yeah.
Wait, someone spoiled something at Gamescom? I was at Gamescom.
Well, it
Not
was just
like
people
out
talking.
loud,
Yeah, they
like
were just
having
talking
a
amongst
beer,
themselves.
yapping, and
Yeah,
somebody ruined something for somebody.
yeah,
Oh,
But
okay.
it is all story related. It all kind of ties things together too. So maybe potentially into this storyline that we're in now, we may get answers towards. Um, But again, it's you don't want spoilers. We don't want to spoil anything for you. And like Adam was saying too, it's one of those things that I'm bittersweet on. I'm really glad I learned the lore because there's a lot of really cool and interesting stuff. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of things that like start making more and more sense because I know certain things. But I hate it because now that 1.0 Tarkov is here and I want to play through the story, it's somewhat ruined to a point. I don't know where that point stops. You know what I mean? I don't know how far in depth they took the story in the game. But I know that I have learned things that I don't get to relearn while playing the game.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's a cool side
gotcha.
of seeing things unfold and knowing what's happening. Like that's cool when you're like, "Oh, hey, I know what that is." But at the same
Right.
time, you miss out on that first experience of learning it as you're playing the game. Um,
Yeah.
but, like I said, I think as long as I stop where I'm at now and, don't look at anything from here on out, or at least don't seek it out, I think everything will be fine.
I think so. I think there's enough packed into this story progression through this
Yeah,
story task line that I think it'll be pretty awesome to witness and be part of.
yeah,
Um, what about your guys' first few weeks or for what end of week 1? Holy shit, we're still so early into the wipe.
yeah, we're at,
How
like,
was your guys' first week?
day 10.
Yeah, so about a week and a half, we can say. What's your guys' experience been with running into like cheaters of any type? Personally, I've not had any that I've could like flat out say that guy was cheating. They did a lot of work with the anti-cheat. They've done something to get ahead and shut down a bunch of the cheats that were operational, and it seems to have worked, right?
Yeah, I've not really encountered any cheaters, to be honest. None that I would actually say they're blatant at all. I at
Right.
least can't remember any situation where I said, "Yep, that guy is definitely cheating."
Right. Yeah, I haven't either. I have not seen anything, like, obviously, you have your strange desync things every now and then that some people like to call cheats on, but as far as, like, actual, like, blatant cheating, I have not seen anything. I haven't really seen any, like, I haven't suspected anybody even, like, it's been
Oh,
pretty clean.
yeah, yeah, same here. I've not had really any interactions with people that were questionable. Things have been pretty mild. I don't know what they did. Do we have any inclination as to what happened? Did they just find a back door and close it down? Did they like shut down like a cheap provider or
So far, what
No,
I can say is it's just a coding thing that happened, and I don't
yeah.
think it's that easy to fix. I'm not into this. I'm not really into coding or anything like that. That's just what I've
fair?
heard so far.
The cheat dev said that they had basically went back and shut a lot of doors that they were using to inject things into, and basically had rewritten it to where now they have to figure out how to get in again. So yeah, basically they closed a bunch of doors that were open.
Awesome. Hopefully it takes them quite some time. A cheater-free Tarkov experience. While I would assume I haven't run into as many as I've probably reported, right? But I still think that experience is just way more enjoyable. This wipe has been like there's no questioning it. There's just every fight that I've had, every interaction that I've had, everything's felt real. Everything's felt like, that guy isn't here because he knew I was up in this room. That guy isn't here because he knew I was sitting here. Like, I haven't made him noise. Why is he just pushing up on me? I haven't had any of that kind of stuff. And I don't know, there's something about it that's just really, just cool, I think. I mean, it's
I feel like I've
maybe
ran into
more,
people in a lot of weird spots, like spots that I don't normally run into them. Like a lot of just like spontaneous like fights, like just out of the
yeah,
blue.
for
And I
sure.
feel like it just feels more organic. Like,
Yeah, but this is something that has to do with people not streamlining tasks anymore like they used to be
yeah, that
do
does play a
before.
big part.
It's more or less they do other stuff to achieve their goals instead of just going for the same tasks over and over again. That's literally
Yeah.
all that it has to do with.
Well, and the way we started the wipe, it's definitely put everybody on a different path where we're not all doing the same exact stuff on ground zero and then immediately running the customs. It's like
Right.
you could open up different things and do different things at the same time that everybody else is doing other things. And that's the first time we've had that.
Yeah, the hardcore wipe kind of implemented there were just no tasks, right? So people were just doing anything and everything. They were looking for fights, they were looking for loot, they knew
Yeah.
they needed everything from in raid. So that was really cool to see it then. And even with the hardcore wipe, we had all kinds of spontaneous fighting. It was just anywhere and everywhere on the map. You would hear shots going off in places that you'd never heard before. People posted up in the most random, just obscure spots. It was really interesting. It was really cool. And then for that to carry over into this 1.0 progression stuff is extremely awesome also because there's like you said, there's something that feels just natural and organic about running into people on a map in anywhere, not on, oh, they're going to be pushing because, on woods, there's USEC camp and then there's sawmill. So they're specifically only going over here for this and over here for this. Like, you don't know where you're running into people at. And it adds that level of worry and stress to it. It's like, could a guy be around this corner? No, maybe this one. Okay. It's
I think the suppressor nerf helped too because they nerf suppressors a lot. You can hear suppressors at much longer range now than you used to be able to. Like most suppressors used to cut off things at like 100 meters, and now it's like 250, 300. Some of them you can still hear. So I watched Gigabeef. He did a really good video on just the audio changes, and it definitely feels like the maps are more alive now because you're not just like hearing,
sitting, hearing
yeah,
nothing.
you can
Yeah.
actually hear everybody that has a suppressor now instead of just not hearing anything.
Have you encountered
Which is,
any weird audio bugs so far? Is
my
a
audio
question
still
that I
cuts out
want like.
entirely
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I
regularly.
that's still the issue with layering. Like if you
Yeah.
switch layers at some point, even if it's just a minor switch,
Right.
it can happen. But what I've encountered this wipe a bunch of times already was not enemies, it was just people from my team not making any steps whatsoever.
oh really?
Yeah,
I have
they were
had I
they
have had
were
some
running on or like walking on spot. And if they sprinted, they were silently sprinting, but still were in the walking animation, just faster.
hmm,
Super weird.
on factory. I was having issues hearing footsteps. No, I couldn't hear Arrow's footsteps yesterday. I couldn't hear any enemy's footsteps. But it was only when I was in the underground. When I was above ground, I could hear everything just fine. But in the underground, it was cutting out. It was being weird. Um, Other than that, and other than just losing audio outright for a few seconds, switching between layers and things, I haven't had any bugs audio wise.
Cool.
Yeah,
And I
2
had
times.
as I had a scav shooting or a bunch of scavs already shooting at me from behind, and their sound was completely muffled.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I was gonna say. It's like I've had this bug where it's like I can't hear anything that's up close to me, and before I know it, like I have a scav like right beside me, and I don't hear him shoot me. I start getting hurt, and then I turn real quick, and it's like, oh, there's a scav right beside me, and I did not hear anything. And it does that like I've had it happen in dorms every time it's happened, and I don't know why.
I haven't ran into that.
It's weird. It's
Um,
very weird.
I know Phantom was complaining about something audio related the other day. I'd have to look and see what it was, but he was saying something about an audio issue. I think it might actually be similar to what you were just saying. Not
I've
hearing
seen
like
other people
scavs
have
in
it
a
too.
room, and he walks in the room, and like they're sitting in a corner, and they start shooting him. I think, and he just couldn't hear him.
Yeah, I watched Landmark died to it the other day. He ran in somewhere. I can't remember where he was, but he was fighting, and next thing you know, he's in the corner trying to heal. And as he's healing, he turns around and there's a scav right behind him, shooting him in the back. He kills that scav, then he starts to heal again, and a player just runs in and just shoots him in the face. And he had no audio for any of it. Like the scav when he was shooting, you could hear like a muffled sound, but nothing
Right.
like it should be. You know what I mean? Like nowhere near what the sound should be.
Yeah. And I had like literally the same thing. He was right behind me, like 5 meters off or something like that. He was shooting me with a shotgun, and it literally sounded like he was inside a building and I was outside.
Right.
Super weird.
No, yeah, that's I haven't ran into that one yet. What about any what about the scope bug? Are you is that everybody experiencing that with DLSS where it's like you
Yeah.
zoom in, it's just super foggy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a
It's not
DLSS
every
bug.
scope. It's not every scope. It's
It's
just
not,
a few of them.
right?
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's just a few of them. For me, for example, the Schmidt and Bender is working perfectly fine.
Schmidt and Bender works fine. The
Yeah,
HHS
Razor
one
works
works
fine for
well
me.
enough. The Razor seems to work okay. The one I have on right now, the Valde, it's shit.
Yeah, the Valde's
The
bad.
black one, the Voodoo was rough. The Elcan Spectre was rough, very
Elcan's
rough.
bad, yep.
Elcan might be the worst that I've seen, at least.
HHS is okay. It's not as bad, but it still has issues. I
So
turned
far,
DLSS off for a little bit and tried it, and it definitely made a difference, but I prefer DLSS so much that I just had to turn it back on.
I have to have DLSS on, otherwise I won't get frames in this game due
Yeah,
to
same.
missing a X3D processor.
Yeah, same.
But other than that, I can work even with the scopes not being the greatest. And Tech 30, for example, is working perfectly fine, which you can already barter for 2 classes, I think. So
I just don't like that scope at night.
I'm not really stoked into changing from DLSS to non-DLSS, because like I said, I rather get used to the scopes being worse instead of changing my graphic settings and having worse frames. I mean,
because even like the Spectre, as bad as it is, dude, it's still usable. They're all still usable.
They're all still usable. Yeah.
There's been a couple times on woods where things look a little like muddied, and I couldn't really tell until people started moving. But that's at distances though. That's like long ranges.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the Spectre, anyways. It's a
I don't use that
it's a
fucking
cheap
thing.
It's a cheap scope, yes, but if I don't have to use it, I'm not using it.
If I'm using an LPVO, I have to have variable zoom, or I don't want to touch it. Like I'm using the Valde right now, but that's out of necessity. And it just I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
The Spectre is also.
I
mean, you mean variable, completely variable. Yeah, never mind. I was.
Yeah. I want variable. Yeah. No, you're good.
1x4 and stuff.
Yeah, variable zoom at least.
One thing though about performance in general, there's definitely a big performance hit. At least for me, there is this way. Yeah,
dude, I'm getting crazy good frames.
It's about 20 frames on each map. That like normally 20 to 30, because normally on woods, like I would average anywhere from 130 to 160, and now I'm sitting usually at about 110, 120. Custom, same thing. I usually be at like 120. Now I'm at like 90 to 100. Like it's not a huge, but it's pretty big.
I'm getting good frames on all those maps. I'm getting more frames than I used to get. I feel like things run better.
Yeah, I think it's on a person, like it's a person by person basis, because I've heard both things. Like, but I'm definitely like for sure getting less frames.
I can't really tell if I get less frames due to the fact that I never really look at my frames, and I also think that the frames counter in Tarkov is not working properly, nor does the
NVIDIA one.
NVIDIA one due to the fact that sometimes it shows me that I have 40 frames, but it still feels like 80, and I don't know, weird. Just weird overall.
Yeah.
Literally.
I always I use the Afterburner with the Riva tuner overlay, and it does. I mean, it always works, and
It's
that's
accurate.
I always know my
Yeah.
frames. Yeah, I always, I always run it, and even in anything I record, it's up there in the corner. Like,
Right.
even though I
Yeah.
know I should turn it off for recording, I still keep it on. Yeah, I just always have to know. I'm a frame whore.
He is. He really fucking is.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Tarkov will get another major optimization update, like one that's good for lower end PCs, even to where it just makes the game easier to run, or do you think we're just kind of stuck with these high end requirements?
I think it will stay the same due to the fact that we're running on Unity. It's a custom-made Unity, but still Unity, and Unity is usually a mobile game engine. And with all the assets, it's hard to process everything that's happening on the maps and all the stuff. So I don't think that we get another or lower end thing happening at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, it's never going to be so optimized that you can run it on like 6, 7 year old stuff, like and play it great, like play it smooth. It's to the point where the only thing that's going to like change the way Tarkov goes is if better CPUs like come out and like kind of like X3D, but for everybody, like cheap
Right.
X3D. But even then, it's like there would still need to be a couple generational leaps before it's like you're actually running Tarkov on your graphics card instead of your CPU, because everything in Tarkov is mostly CPU bottleneck. But they are doing a graphics overhaul, so there's a possibility that it might actually get harder to run depending on how hard they go. So we'll see.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
It could potentially get harder to run.
But they could also find a lot of old broken code that's just eating up resources too when they do that. So there is, a little bit of hope that that might happen.
Yeah, we'll see what time brings, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time will tell thing. What about new maps? With like we saw on several of the road maps, we saw the interchange rework or expansion. Sorry, the interchange expansion, which we got. But we were also supposed to get a reserve rework and a lighthouse rework. How soon, if even in the next year or two, do you think we will get any of that?
Well, we talked before, and I'm more than happy to say it again. I'm not that happy with the interchange expansion we got. I think Lighthouse don't really needs a rework. It just needs a small expansion so you can traverse the map a bit different, because right now the way how you traverse the map is atrocious to play due to the fact that it's literally a freaking just a freaking three-way like customs used to be before.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Call
And
of Duty 3-lane map.
Yeah, it literally is. Yeah.
Reserve, I think, should get a rework ASAP due to the fact that either everyone is in the next or in the first 10 minutes out of raid or dead. Because how the map freaking works.
The layout and the way everybody
and the
rotates
layout,
and everything. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
every
it's
rotation is
bad
working.
for it's bad for itself. It really is.
But otherwise, I also think Reserve is one of the maps where you can get the fastest paced action possible in the game.
For sure.
Right after Factory. That are free to get onto. And
yeah, and I think Reserve should stay a pretty hardcore PvP map, especially with the interchange changes. That kind of forces less PvP into the area. Reserve should be a map. It's high pace. It should be a fast paced map. It should be a quick to fight map, but at the same time, it shouldn't be forced into such weird pinches and awkward fights. I think it should it just I don't know what it needs, but something has to change. Maybe it's even just as simple as like expand it a little bit and stretch the spawns out so people aren't forced to rotate into each other at like the first 10 seconds.
give them more reasons to be on the top part of the map instead of just being in the cellars, bunkers, whatsoever. Like
Right, that's fair
because
too, yeah.
every quest revolves more or less around like being in the bunkers and
Right.
doing shit in the bunkers. Like not every, but like most of them. So
Most of
give them a bit more reason to be outside instead of just staying inside. Because the outside part is completely fine. The outside part is great. Don't get me wrong. You got some close quarters. You got some long range. And you always ease up some quests for everyone. Like Shooter Born in Heaven, for example, a pain in the ass
For sure.
to do on reserve.
It is, yeah.
Because if you don't see anyone or have a freaking bad spawn, you don't see anyone at all, and you will be stuck on this quest for ages. But if you do it right and give them a bit more reason to stay on the upper parts of the map, I think the map is actually fine.
I don't know. I think that they could expand the underground a bit more. But okay, well, and here's where we differ again, because I like the underground PvP stuff. I would just like to see more of it.
Don't get me wrong,
But
I
I
like the
also
underground
like-
part too. Like I also like the PvP on the underground parts. The only thing that I just don't like is that you don't have any
It's
reason to
forced.
stay upside.
Right. No, that's
And
fair. And that makes sense. I agree with that. I do agree with it. But I would like to see it just... Maybe you're right. Maybe the map doesn't necessarily need change. Maybe it just needs kind of revitalized and incentives changed and maybe some task changes and stuff. Because the upside, the top half of the map is solid. Like it flows fine for the most part. Outside, the only thing I don't like about the top is literally the first 2 minutes of the raid. 1 or 2 spawns get complete and utter freedom from any worry or problems, and the rest of the spawns are like in the shit from the start. It's chaos. And I think I would like to see that early raid, first maybe stretch it out to where you can potentially route yourself in a way that doesn't force you into the left spawn or the right spawn or the spawn behind you. Like it just feels congested. It feels very congested.
yeah, but isn't freaking Shoreline the same?
Yeah, I guess it is. Shoreline can be exactly the same, yeah, because the road to custom side can have, I don't even know how many spawns right on top of each other right there. And then the path to
I can
Shoreline.
think of 3 right now. 4.
I have better luck on
or-
Shoreline than I do Reserve, that's for sure.
It is more open. You are a little bit more free, but there are some congested spawns for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, always have been.
Especially if you look at it from like side to side, like path to lighthouse side and tunnel
Well, at least on
side.
Shoreline, you have a lot more alternate places to travel. Like if you know the spawns,
True,
you can kind of
right.
choose, to avoid them. On
I mean,
Reserve,
imagine-
you're kind of out in the open.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine customs, for example, again. Customs before rework, before spawn rework, and before
The expansion stuff.
expansion, exactly.
Yeah, it was pretty congested.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
rough.
Customs was like that too. Yeah,
Old
for sure.
Customs was brutal. Yeah.
It was the same, and everyone was kind of fine with it. Like, not perfectly fine with it, but kind of fine with it. Of course, it sucked when you died there due to the fact that you had a bad spawn or died to a spawn that you wasn't anticipating. But other than that,
Yeah, like the map itself, wasn't horrible, but the spawns and just the congestion that you could get into was bad, and it did definitely hurt the map. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I
What
don't know
would we
when we'll
change
see
on
them
reserve?
getting around to it.
Yeah, that was the
Nikita
question, wasn't
talked
it?
about-
Yeah.
Yeah, Nikita talked about. Didn't he say there was going to be 3 more bosses and 3 more maps or something like that? Like, didn't he say something like that on the Tarkov TV?
He did say 3 new bosses, and that made me
Yeah.
assume that we were getting 3 more maps with that, a map per boss.
Which
but
doesn't
it could
necessarily
be
mean that, because we've seen
Right.
like Labyrinth with it's
Tequila,
basically just all
Tequila.
Shoreline. Yeah, and and then you see
Interchange now.
Interchange. Yeah, getting
Streets.
Tequila's little hideout. It's kind of cool
Streets
how they're putting multiple
Cabancolante.
bosses on different maps. I like that, and I hope they do more of that.
Well, I agree. Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that you don't just have freaking Tequila on factory now, and also can encounter him on interchange too. I like that. I also like that the biggest map of all has 2 bosses, like Streets, Heaven,
Yeah.
Kolante and Kaban on the same map gives some good interactions sometimes, not always, but sometimes, and also
It can.
like the possibility of encountering 2 bosses in one raid is something that I really like.
Yeah, it's cool.
Customs, I was watching Deadly Slob, and he ran into Rashala, the boys, and Partisan all on Customs the other day.
What's crazy is if you
Partisan-
go at night, you can run into all that
Cultists
and
also.
cultists. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Partisan, for example, is a boss that I don't really think was needed. Because the
No,
way
I don't think
how
it was
he
needed, but I think it's cool.
behaves- Yeah, he's cool,
Yeah, he's
sure,
fucking dumb.
but the way how he behaves is like beyond dumb, and
Yeah,
he's way
extremely.
too easy to kill.
For sure.
And
Well, dude, if he's not aggroed to you, if he's not looking for you, he just walks past you or runs past you. He pays no attention to you.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
I
that's
have
how he's
killed him
supposed to be.
4 or
He's
5
supposed to be
times
seeking
between the
out certain
hardcore
people.
wipe to now. Yeah, but it's like he's got to play with some kind of fucking brain cells, right? I understand
mean, if he's not-
he can't be aware
he's-
of every player on the map, but at the same time, like there's got to be a way he can like there's got to be something, right?
Well, I just mean
Because,
if he's
dude,
not
he can't be
after
so
you,
brain
then he's not
dead.
after you. Like if he's not after
Yeah,
you, then
but-
he has no beef with you.
No player in the world is going to let him run past like right beside him and not shoot him. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like,
I'm just saying,
it
like
feels brain
I
dead
think it's
though.
by design.
Yeah, but I think I don't like that design. is where I'm at. I don't like it. I would like it if it was just he's on the map hunting down anyone and everyone. You know, he's a silent killer and he doesn't want you in the woods. He doesn't want you on shoreline, whatever. We've all done our dirt. We're all PMCs. Like, you know, none of us are clean. It would make sense and
I mean, it's
justifiably
supposed to be based off
canon
karma,
wise.
and we don't all know exactly how the karma system works. We know a few things, but it's like it's hard to tell what's going on there. I'm
It just
okay
seems-
with it as long as they fix it to where we eventually understand what's going on there. Like I'm not.
Or if he's not in
it
the
doesn't
raid
bother
for
me.
us, we don't fucking have to see him. I don't know.
I mean,
It
I don't
just
even care about
feels
seeing.
weird,
It's like
dude.
that's just a free kill. Then you know what I mean. You get some loot, and
Yeah, but
otherwise,
I'd rather
yeah, but,
have a
but that's my
fight.
problem with him. Like he has a freaking AK with freaking most of the time either AKM, so 7.62x39 or 5.45. And the main problem that I have with it is like he has most of the time extremely good ammo for the amount of trouble that he gives you. He's way too easy to kill and way too high reward. Because as you already said, like you can spot him, for example, around dorms. He will leave his freaking tripwires everywhere.
Mhm.
So
A lot of
you can
grenades for
just
free.
spot him on one tripwire, and then you know he's around and can instantly hunt him down. And he's not hard to kill at all. Like if you see him, he's dead. Due to the fact that he's
okay.
not wearing armor, he's not really
Right.
putting up
He's
a
not
challenge.
aggroing to you. Yeah. I would be okay with it if he stays the way he is currently, as long as if you kill him when he's not aggroed to you, now he is aggroed to you. You know what I mean? If there was some risk and reward to it, or not even a reward, because the reward is killing him and taking the gear. If there was some risk involved with it, like, okay, well, he's in my raid, he's not bothering me, I won't bother him. Okay, well, you're rewarded for that by not having Partisan hunt you down. Or if you shoot him the next time he's in raid, it most likely is going to be after you. I think that would be fine, because then it's like it at least explains away some of the brain dead. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Because
don't
like
even know
when
how
it's
bad he
so
is right now.
mindless.
Like I
Dude,
haven't
he's
ran into him
mindless.
this wipe.
He's
I
still the same.
literally was standing still and he ran past me, like 3 feet away from me, ran past me, ignored me entirely. And he's done that in several occasions from the hardcore wipe to now. Obviously,
now he's
before that I was in
basically Santa
PvE.
Claus.
Yeah, he's just Santa Claus with better fucking ammo.
Yeah, I have.
And
a-
I like the boss and I like the idea behind the boss. I do. I don't want to sound like I'm bitching about it. I know I am. But it's like I
I was gonna
just wish
say, it
that it was
kinda
more. I wish it was more fucking involved. I wish he was not brain dead if he wasn't after you, or if he is brain dead when he's not after you. There's the risk is if you kill him, you take the free kill, he's going to be after you. I think like it just needs balanced. I think
Yeah.
I mean, have you ran into him that many times to where you know he does not aggro
several
to
times,
you?
several times this wipe for sure. Hardcore wipe, I ran
Damn,
into
for
him
real.
3 times with him just running past me and me just shooting him in the back of the head. I ran
Wow.
into him
See, I
at
haven't
least 4 times
experienced
this
that.
wipe.
I have not experienced that.
On PvE, like obviously if he's there, he's fighting you. You know, he's on it. But for whatever reason now, he will literally run directly past you, ignore you entirely, and just fucking go after who he's on.
Hmm.
He's brain dead right now. Maybe it's not intended to be that way. Because if I remember correctly, that's not how he used to function. It used to
I
be
was
if
gonna
you
say
were
he's
within a
fought
certain
yeah,
radius, he would start
like,
firing at you.
he's fought me plenty of times, like, not this wipe, but past wipes, and, like, when
Right.
streamers I've been watching, when I watched Deadly the other day, when he ran into him, like, he fought him first thing, like, no hesitation. Um, so I just haven't experienced that side of it. That's why I don't think it's, bad because I haven't noticed it, so
I I've seen it at least 3 times this wipe. Because I've been running a shit ton of customs. And I've
okay, he
ran
might
into him
yeah,
at
he
dorms, and he just ignores me entirely. I ran into him on woods, and he ignored me entirely. And then I ran into him at 3-story on dorms. I was fighting a PMC, and he just ran in after the PMC. The twice that he's ignored me entirely, and once that he pretty much just didn't care that I was there.
yeah, weird.
It is very weird. And I'm glad to hear that eXoT's had that same issue.
Yeah, he's
Or at
way
least
too he's way too easy and way too passive in my opinion. Like for
and it's okay
example,
that he's passive. Just if he is going to be passive, put some risk to it.
yeah, but like for example, Rishala guards. Rishala guards are, I mean, they're not hard either, but if they spot you, and they will spot you, they will
They
freaking spot
will.
you. They're AIs, they will spot you from miles away, and you have nothing to do against it. If they spot you, they will instantly start shooting at you, which is okay. I mean, at least this gives you information on where they are, where they're shooting from. I'm completely fine with that. The main issue that I literally have with him is he's not shooting you, even if he spots you, except if you come way too close to comfort for him. If you come way too close, then he will also start to shoot. But if you stay at a good amount of range, like 50 meters, he does not care at all. Except your camera is on low.
What about the goons? Got any issues with the goons? We were calling him a cheater yet the other night. I
I
literally voiced to
encountered
calling
I
them
think they've been
cheaters.
great.
I encountered him once on my opinion the hardest map to encounter them, which is Shoreline.
Out there on the front of the hill.
We spawned on the construction yard and ran closer to the weather station, and they spotted us from atop of the weather station, pushed us, and killed all of us. Due to the fact
Yeah,
that
they're
we have
rough right
no
there.
ammo.
And there's no good cover for you pushing up to
Yeah.
that rock. It's
They're
rough.
definitely
Bad
turned
spot.
up right now, and they're chasing people a lot more, it seems like. They're running around the map a lot more. They
Yeah,
chased me
we
and
were
you
on.
across the whole map.
Yeah, we were
Like,
on
they chased me to
customs.
extract.
Other than that, I've not seen anything weird on them. They behave the same way. I was able to kill 2 of them, but died then to Big Pipe due to the fact that I was not able to reclip my max because they were eating
Right.
a whole mag of freaking PS.
Sounds
And then I
about
was
right.
OT.
Pipe and Night, but I didn't see Bird Eye.
Yeah, they chased us. We were doing something, doing a
Yeah,
task,
we were in front of
and
dorms.
cut through. As soon as we go to cross the road in front of dorms, one of big or Night or Pipe, one of them started shooting at us from a bush. And I saw one walking, and I was like, "Oh, someone just walked across," and I started getting shot at, so I back off instantly. And I'm standing there and shoot him for a minute, and he's like, "I think it's the bosses," and I was like, "Well, we should back off then," or something along those lines. And we start backing off, and they keep shooting. And I was like, "I think they're players. Are they still shooting?" And blah blah blah, because they were like shooting at us through the trees and bushes and everything else. And we go around the backside of 3-story. As soon as we get into the line of sight again to where they could be shooting at us, they instantly start shooting again. And they're like hitting us and shit. So I'm like, I VoIP them and I'm like, "You fucking knowers, get out of here, cheaters." You know what I mean? I didn't realize
Yeah,
it
we
was the
thought for
bosses.
sure. We thought for
Because
sure
at
they were
that
cheating.
point, with them like locking on and still hitting us through the trees and the bushes, I was like, "Dude, they're not supposed to do that. Like they're not supposed to, you know?"
I
And
mean,
I got
as soon
gunned
as
down.
they got the slightest amount of line of sight, they will start to shoot. So
Yeah.
if they see a leg of yours, they will instantly start to spray.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like they chased
It was
us
it
down.
was
But the
you
way
know,
how
you never
they
chase him all the way to spawn.
behave, like the chasing part, they always did that.
No,
Since
yeah,
they
yeah.
got since they got implemented, they were always chasing people down, and I really like
I've
this about the goons.
No, I love fighting the goons. It's
I've
probably
seen
one
them
of
in
my
a
favorite
lot more
fights.
places this wipe than I ever did before. Like out around, like they always have their
Yeah,
spawn
that's
points, but I've seen them in a lot other areas, like spending time in other areas a lot more. It seems like, but that could just be, I've seen it this time. Last wipe, I just didn't see it as much when it was still happening.
it seems like they're in
Don't.
more places now.
Yeah, to me it does,
Or
but
maybe they just roam more. I don't know. Or maybe it's where they're like chasing players. Nobody has armor or ammo, so they're killing somebody and then just staying in that area till they see somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening actually. They don't have
Well,
the
that was
armor
Probably.
to fight them and just die to them, and from there it just snowballs to them roaming all over the map. I mean, the weirdest thing that I've encountered so far was, again, I was in the freaking hall where you have to place the marker for chemical part 3,
Yeah.
and I jumped once, so Rishala guards were able to see me, or at least my head, across the freaking wall that's there, and they pushed me into this freaking hall all the way because they were aggroed on me. I mean, that was like 3 wipes ago or something like that, but still, I was completely stoked that they actually do that.
Right. I still remember when they what was it? They had made a bunch of changes and bosses and stuff started actually pushing you way more aggressively. Um, because they used to just stay like if say Rashalda and them were on in dorms, they wouldn't really push outside of dorms. But even now, you can catch them out on the hillside and fight them
yeah.
pretty well all through there. And the some of the guards will actually chase you down over the hill and shit. It's just cool to see the bosses moving around a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had any issues with any of the bosses outside of the partisan stuff, and it's not even really an issue. It's more so just an annoyance, and hopefully it's not intended, and maybe it's just he's bugged or whatever it may be. Um, but it is frustrating to. I know that sounds dumb to be like, oh, it's a free kill. It's annoying. I like the fights though. You know what I mean? That's like the challenges.
I really think still that bosses should feel like bosses. They shouldn't feel like a random scav kill like Partisan actually does right now. They should feel like bosses. They should put up a fight.
I
They
agree.
should be something that you have to work for to get the kill.
Here's an idea that we've been tossing around and something that I think we would like to see. How would you feel if like Sanitar and his guards, especially Sturman and his guards, kind of roamed their maps? Sturman specifically because like he only has the one spawn point. It would be awesome to see him get like, oh, he could be at USET camp, or he could be at Old Sawmill, or he could be here. But I think it would really be cool if Sturman and his 2 guards would also just path from like Sawmill to Sawmill and just keep an eye on that area. That way, like you never know where you run into them at. It kind of changes the way you fight them. It changes how you fight them. It changes when you fight them. How do you guys?
Way too much randomness. The thing about especially Sturman, in my opinion, is he and his guards usually run extremely high tier ammo. For example, SNB, PS, something like that.
Right.
And encountering them randomly on a way will instantly get you killed. This will be a horrible experience for everyone. It doesn't matter who it is. Like on the
I
on the range that they are able to spot you, and that's a freaking high range for
It is an extremely long
especially
range,
Sherman.
for sure. Yeah.
For especially Sherman, this will be a horrible experience for everyone that plays Woods.
I mean, if they tuned it like they do the goons, though, because they run great ammo too. Like Big Pipe had 300 rounds of M61 when he was shooting at us on day one, and it's like if they changed it up a little bit to where they path just like the goons, I think it would be all right.
I mean, the goons don't really
If it's a
path; they
known
chase people
pathing,
down.
it's right.
Well, they still
They
wonder
cha
too. Like
They do
Yeah, but
wander
not
a
that
bit.
much. But not that bunch. They stay at their spawn, and they start to wander off if they encounter someone that they want to chase down, and then they chase them until I don't know, they lose track of them.
So how would you
But
fix the Sturman in the same spawn every time? Same old boring fight every time?
I
How
would
would you
I
go
would change
about
up spawns. I would change up the spawns. I would literally give him two spawns instead of 3 spawns. This would change already a bunch of stuff. Like
Yeah, I mean,
the
if he
way
would
the
stop
way
spawning
how
in Sawmill every time and could be in
yeah,
Old
like
Sawmill
the
even,
way
like,
how
that would help.
exactly the way how how Senator also works. Senator is 3 spawns, more or less 4 spawns or 5 spawns if you encounter
Which
admin west
side
and
of
east wing.
resort?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
If you encounter this into or if you count this into the spawns, it's 5 spawns. It's east wing, west wing, admin, um, cottage,
Village
and
or
pier.
cottage and pier, yeah.
Yeah, so 5 spawns. Give him give Sherman like 3 spawns, and you have 3 different locations where to fight them and how to fight them. Same for
I would be okay
Rishala.
with that even. Yeah.
Rishala has 3 spawns. He has a spawn or 4 spawns if you count 2-story into it
Storms
too.
outside of well, yeah. So you could have him at 2-story, 3-story, and on the hillside, right? He can just be standing on the hillside now.
You got him on 3-story, 2-story, fort, and new gas. Those are his 4 spawns.
How does he end up
And
outside of dorm so early in raid then?
no, he spawns outside of dorms now too on the hillside.
he does? Okay.
Yeah,
Then
I was gonna
so
say because I've been
fine.
running it. I'll get like God spawn too, the one off by the boat spawn or by the boat extract, and by the time I've ran across the road off spawn, he's already there. I was gonna say
Never
he has to be spawning there.
never had that before.
It sucks. It's fun once you know he's there, but it sucks walking up on it because it's just him and 4 or 5 guards, and they
Yeah, I
just
can
mow
believe
you
that
down.
though. I will believe
It's
that
rough.
instantly.
It's not fun. it's not ideal. But yeah, he has
But
a shit
like
ton of spawns, and that
but
does
like
change the way you fight him entirely. Yeah, like if he's at fort, I approach it differently than I do at dorms for sure. Yeah.
that's why I said like give him different spawns, and the whole way how you fight him and the whole way how to encounter or start the encounter with him completely
How you
changes
approach it.
up and gives a whole lot of diversity to the boss
It
fights.
absolutely does. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it would be cool just here in the SVDS shot, oh, it's at USET camp or Scav camp or wherever. Sunken Village, I don't care. Pick a spot. How you approach that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It completely changes the Sturman fight with each and every spawn he has. I would like to see that. I would love to see that. But then,
Same
you
for
have
example, Kaban. I don't like fighting Kaban because he's always in the same spot if he's there, and everyone knows that you're going into it because you have to throw an 8 to get into it.
right. Yeah, there's no way to go around it. Yeah.
Or
You have to grenade it.
there is a way to go around it, and the way literally just involves you being super fast with a jiggle peek, instantly headshotting the guard on the LMG.
Right.
If you're able to pull that off, you're also fine with just running into it.
Right. But it can be a challenge just for any viewers out there listening to that. It can even if you're good with jiggle peaks, you can still get your head ripped off very easily. It is tricky. I wholeheartedly believe the grenade is the way. Just because I've died too many times trying to peek it and squeeze in. But you're right. You have to announce that you're going in to fight him. You have to let it be known. Even standing there jiggle peeking and shooting at the guard. You're announcing the fight before you even start the fight, or the second that you're starting the fight. You don't have time to find Kaban, figure out a strategy, and then push in and start the fight. You start the fight before you know where he's at entirely. Which spot? Is he right side, left side? Is he up close? Is he further back in that box area? Is he, like, where is he entirely at? You don't know. You have to start shooting. You have to start lobbing grenades. You make a bunch of noise. It's a one way in, one way out on either side, so it's extremely congested. There's potentially more than just the guards there. There's a fuck ton of scavs. You've got to do all this extra work just to get to Kaban. And by the time you've cleared it out, somebody can just sneak in behind you and kill you and take the Kaban kill, or let you kill Kaban and just take the loot off of you. So yeah, I think Kaban could stand to potentially have multiple spawn points, or just maybe a major shift in how that whole Lexos fortress area. And I get it's supposed to be a fortress, so I kind of understand it, but I do get that it sucks to try to fight Kaban there. I don't know what I would do with Kaban.
Yeah, that's also one thing that I think about always. Like, how would you want to go for the Kaban change? Because there's not really much room on streets to change how or where he can spawn, to be honest.
Right.
It's not like Colonte, which is just a freaking ex-police officer that you just can put into the mall or MVD. You have to put him into a position where he still can do the fortress stuff that he was able to do before.
Right. I guess it could make enough sense story purpose wise if Kaban and Kalante shared MVD, and on occasion you could run into Kaban at MVD. But I mean, it's kind of a waste because his guards are like a big part of that fight is the guns, them being on the machine guns and things like that. So they would either have to add him to MVD or just like change the way his guards work a little bit. I don't know. It's Cabana is a tricky one, I think, and maybe
Yeah.
necessarily it doesn't need change, but it sucks to fight. It does suck to fight.
Yeah,
Adam, do
definitely.
you have any ideas that you might throw in the hat for how you would fix Caban fight, or if at all?
I mean, outside of adding a new area, I really just don't see, you know what I mean, keeping the fortress. It's, if you want to keep that in the fight, it's going to be hard because you definitely just need a new area. If you want to just take him and a couple of his main guards and throw him in a random place, that would work. But like, you're taking away a lot of his defense, which is, he has no armor or anything, and his guards are
Right.
not the most juice. So it's like you're not really going to have much of a fight probably if it's only a couple. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. I'd have to think about that more.
I had
It's
an
a hard
idea.
fix.
I would have an idea. I just need to check real quick how this actual place is called. But I had an idea. It would need a bit of rework of streets for sure. But other than that, it would be more or less the only way how I would see how this can work out. And this is at Cardinal, behind Cardinal.
Behind Cardinal, where like in the
Where the way to one of the pharmacies is. The
oh,
pharmacy
that
all the
little
way back in the back, yeah.
yeah, okay.
That's the only way where I could see Kaban could be spawning to. You just need to make it into a small fortress there.
Yeah.
The place would be there, but other than that, I don't
I
see
mean,
any way on the map where you could do it. Or you put LMGs onto Pinewood, in Pinewood, so they can look into the courtyard of Pinewood.
area, yeah.
But
Pinewood would be
other than
cool if
that,
they made it like barricaded off like the main entryways in and out of there. You only had more narrow ways in and out. They could definitely make the courtyard area of Pinewood fortress type to a degree and still have it very playable. And I do like the idea of the cardinal spot too, because like there's that whole square down there that's just not used. There's only two ways to approach it. They're both from the front side, right? You either come through from the Cardinal building itself or you go around Cardinal. So like you could barricade things there a bit and make it into a fortress as well. So I there's definitely options, but are they viable? And are they actually going to do stuff like that? I think that Caban is just one of those bosses that's unfortunately trapped in his spawn. I don't think they'll ever make a major change to that. Even the mall potentially could work, I guess, if he's up on second floor of the mall, but it's not the same as fighting Calante because Calante has actual resources that he can utilize to make that mall terrifying for us, where Caban would just be running at us with a PKP.
Which can be also terrifying if you're getting shot from it, like through
Yeah,
walls and all the stuff. That's also something that is really terrifying at some point.
for
Yeah,
sure.
just hearing him like shoot full auto, like before you even get there, like you hear that gun, and you're like, okay, he's right there.
What is before we end, because we are running pretty long here. What is something that didn't get introduced in 1.0 that you would want to see or hope to see introduced later?
What I would wanted to see some more weapons, to be honest. I'm not happy with the amount of weapons we've got. I know weapons take a shit ton of time for them to introduce to the game, but I wish for a few more weapons, especially for some extremely unused or rare calibers that just have one representative, or yeah, like that's it, or just a few of them. I'm fine with the weapons that came in. I mean, with the custom guns NL, they brought back the 545 caliber extremely hard. I'm
It did.
super happy. It's insane. I'm super happy what they did to the MDR, that you're finally able to mod it properly and just not just like toss a freaking
Or
hand
pistol grip and a suppressor.
front grip
Yeah, yeah,
onto it, and a suppressor and a scope and a lamp, and that's it. I really love
right.
to see that finally,
Well, and
because
it's
I actually
almost like
enjoy
it's
it.
multi-caliber, right? You can go down to the SMG, you can go up to the LMG, and while you're not changing calibers, obviously, it kind of plays that part a little bit, which is really
Yeah.
cool. Having multiple functions from the MDR is awesome.
So,
Have you
but
got to play with the lever action much?
AK-308's awesome.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
AK-308 was, for example, something that I didn't really thought that we needed to see. I was more or less thinking about another weapon with proper ways to mod it. For example, was something in the 300 blackout caliber. That was something
That'd
that
be
I
cool.
would love to see, because right now we only have the MCX and the Velociraptor, and to be honest, the Velociraptor is quite shit
It is
compared
pretty
to the
shit.
MCX. I was hoping for some more for the caliber 68 by 51, which is the MCX spear. I was also hoping for some more in the caliber from the P90, because right now we only have the P90 and the shrimp that's using the ammo, which
Right.
is
5.7.
something.
Yeah, the 5.7
Yeah,
and
5.7. Yeah, sorry,
P90, the 5.7.
shrimp is something else. But that's something I would love to see at some point. Maybe even the AR variant of it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be cool.
time will tell what comes next and what will be there to see. But I'm not that happy with the choices that were made of weapons being implemented. But that's just me.
I
Other
like
than
everything that they added. I just wish that they would have added more. I can understand that. Like everything they added, I think is pretty cool. Maybe not the most customizable on a couple of them, but still some pretty cool stuff. I love the Marlin. I love having a lever action. I think that's really fun, and it's actually viable. It's you can mod it out pretty well. You can use it with almost any situation. Um, the NL545, the
Yeah,
MDR
that thing's
changes.
awesome.
Like there
There's
was
a
some
few
really good
variants
stuff.
of it.
Yeah,
Few
I
variants of
just wish they
that.
would have had more.
M16 is pretty customizable. It's nice to
I
have.
like the M16.
Um,
I've been running it a
the
little bit. It's really
MK12,
cool.
the VZ61, the RPD now having the suppressor support, the new Val. there's quite a bit of stuff that's already been in the game, but now you can customize it in different ways. The VPO 215, you got the tactical chassis now for that. It completely transforms the gun.
But I mean, it's just a week in. It's just a week in. To be honest, it's not really. We're all not really able to say which will be like the go-to weapon, even though right now it extremely looks into the customs NL.
Yeah.
Because
That
it's
thing
just
seems to be top of the tier right now.
because right now that's just the most sought after and also like the strongest gun due to the fact that 545 is now finally again viable because wipes after
Fire
wipes
rate.
after wipes, it was like one of the worst calibers to play at all.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's back now. Did you guys ever notice with last wipe and the hardcore wipe, we were customizing ARs and there were short hand guards that you could start to install, which would let you install a secondary hand guard that would let you then install a third piece to the hand guard. And these short pieces were either red or yellow. Did you guys notice those?
No, I've never
I didn't.
I never really watch into the backgrounds of any items at all. I don't care about it.
No,
It has
not the background. The item itself was collared. It was like a multi-color. You could put on a yellow hand guard, and then a regular hand guard piece would go over
Oh,
that, and then you could
then
install
you mean
a third piece of hand
the
guard.
10 hand guards and all the stuff. Yeah, I've seen it, and I like it because you can actually modify your weapon to the actual color your weapon has, and I like it. Oh, what do you mean?
The gridlock bases here. Let me share my screen, and then I'll share it
Yeah. I don't
on
know.
here as well, so you guys can see it. These gridlock
Oh
bases,
no, yeah, I never seen that.
Yeah.
and then you put on a gridlock handguard, and then you add. Oh no, where'd it go? Somewhere there's another piece.
That was in last wipe.
Yeah, these were in last wipe. This is
Yeah, they
currently in
were
this
in.
wipe too. This is me currently doing it. Where's the fucking front sight? There it is.
No, okay, that's cool.
And then there's the red one or tan one, whatever color that is. I'm colorblind.
That's red.
Sorry.
That's red, yeah.
And you put on the gridlock, and then you put on gridlock. Isn't that cool though? It's the
Yeah.
Strike Industries. You know, I don't know what they're for because when you go to purchase them, no trader has them, right? Like obviously I don't have access to them, but like there's no trader name. There's nothing listed on them. These parts are just non-existent at the moment. But you can look at them. You can start to mess with them.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I actually think, for example, what I really like to see, or what I really like is, I'm gonna share my screen for a second. What I really love is literally you have two custom gun NLs, which is one times the black and one times the tan one, and you
Yeah.
actually have like the matching freaking parts for it. If you want to play the tan one, you can also go full tan.
Right. Yeah, it's not
just-
mismatched. Like
that's
one's
just-
FDE, one's
That's
tan.
just
Yeah.
so freaking good. I love it.
You can finally really mix and match and build it out to the specs
it's
you
like,
want.
I really love this. I don't personally. I don't mod my guns like meta. I mod them on aesthetics. And if
I go with
yes,
like good parts that are still look good. That's what I go for. I want something decent, but I want it to look good.
I always go for aesthetics. I don't care about anything else. I just want the aesthetics. I just want to have it all look good and match together quite well. So, for example, you will never see me running like any weird scope. It's literally just, for example, a Cratchit.
Well,
I will never run it.
No, yeah. When it comes to my optics, I have certain ones that I'll run, and those are mostly based off aesthetic. And it's either aesthetic for the way it looks on the gun or the way it looks in the optic.
Oh, by the way, we're talking about optics. Have you seen the new optics that they put into the game?
Which ones?
How is it called? The Spectre special one, like the one that you can put on
That
onto
you
the
can mount
Spectre.
onto finally.
Yeah.
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 It's
They're cool as
called.
shit.
Wait a sec. It's I'm 3 the Justice or not the SRO.
The SRO, yeah, I love that thing.
Triken SRO. That's just peak old PKO6, literally.
It is.
It's
It
even
literally
the
is. Yeah.
better one.
Yeah, it's
There's
really
another
good. I like
one
it a
that'll
lot.
go on it too that you can get out of Arena.
Swamp Fox Justice, yeah.
Yeah, Swamp Fox.
Yeah, the Justice one.
Yeah, I like them both. They're both really nice.
Have you seen the new 2.5x variable scope? It's like 2.5
I
by
haven't.
like 8 or something.
What's
I
it
got it
called?
the other day, but I didn't have the mount. It's a Leopold something. I can't remember.
I also like the Mi Pro. The Mi Pro,
Yeah,
this
the Mi
one.
Pro is the next one I was gonna bring up. Yeah.
The Mi Pro is also quite good. The only thing that I don't like about it is it destroys every aesthetic of every gun you're playing.
Yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly as
Straight up.
fuck. Let's see, aim point. Trying to find the mount that it might be on so we can look at it.
I think it
Just
might just be a
everything.
30mm mount. I think
Yeah, it should
might
be a 30 millimeter. 30 if it's a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 30.
Should be the TS38.
The Leopold Mark IV.
Yeah, TS38.
Okay.
Yeah, all I know is like a 2.5 by something, like 2.5 by.
Yeah, 2.5 by 8.
Hey,
Okay. I might mess with that. I kind of like the idea of that.
I imagine it might be cheaper and easier to acquire, you know?
Than the PM, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I have access to it because I haven't really been paying attention. I don't have
I
access
think
to it.
I think the main issue with the 2.5 for me would be like the 2.5. I'm fine with the 8, but the 2.5.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
those
that's the
over
rough
zooms
part.
off the start is rough.
It's
Like I don't even
just
really care for the 2x
it's over zoom for close quarters.
for sure.
But that's why I was thinking it
Um,
might be easier to acquire, hopefully. Something for early game, maybe. But like
but
you said,
yeah,
I don't know where you can get it yet.
the suite of new parts in the game right now too. There's a shit ton of new AR parts. I mean, there is a bunch of stuff in the game that we still have yet to like mess with and play with and like customize into our guns and builds, and it's really cool. There are a plethora of new things going on. Like
A
there
lot of new
are
areas,
these
too, where you can
the
find
AK.
those guns, like the new guns.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The AK-12 has like some really good parts
Yeah,
that you can
good
put on it
parts.
now that may change the look entirely. They change the feel
Yeah.
entirely. Like it makes me want to run the AK-12 way more. I've always not liked running it because it was limited on what you could do to it, but now you can just customize the hell out of them, which is awesome. New butt pads, which I still don't really know exactly what stock this is for. It's for the Colt in one stock. Okay. So
Yeah, for the M16.
there's I'm sure over the next few weeks as we continue to dive into Tarkov 1.0 and learn more and more about everything that's in here, we'll have plenty more to talk about too. But is there anything else either one of you want to bring up, talk about, or go over?
No,
The VSK now
You're cutting out like
take
crazy.
the grip.
What is it?
What was that?
Discord's bombing. It's back, I think. I don't know.
Can't hear.
All right. We good? No?
hello?
Hello?
Now it's
Yo.
good again.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep,
What were you saying,
Discord.
Adam? Discord died.
The VSK and the 9A91 now have a handguard you can put on it, which allows installation of foregrips and things.
That's true. That is true. I
Yeah,
forgot
it's
about
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Which makes ASWAL calibers way more viable,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
actually like that. I'm a huge SR3M enjoyer, and
For sure.
it's
SR3 is
insane.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, one more thing. The new ammo type 9x3 9.3
Oh,
by
yeah. So there's a couple of
FMJ
them, right?
or none?
There's 0.03. There's 0.308 ME. There's new 308 or not
Yeah, for
new
the
308
Marlin.
rounds, but there's the 308 rounds for the Marlin. They're really good. And then there is
Oh, it's the
the
SVDK.
round.
The SVDK uses 9.3 by 64.
9.3 by
basically-
64. Okay.
Yeah, it's like an SVD, but it's a little shorter version. It's called
There's
eXoT.
also new rounds for the 50 cal. There's like the
Yeah.
M903 slap, which has
stuff's
115
crazy.
penetration. Insane.
Yeah.
And then there's also new 7.62 by 25. So like the
Yeah.
PPSH and stuff like that have some viable rails, and I mean
855A1,
viable.
856A1,
Yeah, so
993.
there's M995. It
Or, yeah,
penetrates up to level 4 with 32 damage. That's insane for something that's coming out of the PPSH. So there's a lot of like really cool new stuff in here. We'll continue to update you guys on it as we go throughout these next few weeks. We'll continue talking about 1.0 and everything 1.0 or everything that happens as we progress through 1.0 story wise and everything else. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Talking Tarkov, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so it helps us out tremendously while keeping you up to date with everything we've got going on. Just be sure to click that bell icon so you never miss out on an upload. We'll catch you next week. See ya.